So there is a basketball player by the name of Jeremy Lin. He's getting a lot of attention. In fact, there's news that Kobe Bryant might be a little jelly of this guy.
Oh,
right?
I love the overhype. Look, he's been fantastic. I love the story. There's no way, and I know that he beat the Lakers, and Kobe didn't know his name, and do you know my name? Now, I know the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. But Kobe's jealous of Jeremy Lin. Bring it down. Bring it down. It's not jealous.
Let's pretend he is, because the drama is what draws me in.
Okay. All right, yeah.
But anyway, so Jeremy Lin turns out to be very religious. He's a Christian. And, you know, at first he was playing for the Warriors, and then they traded him. And then he was playing for the Rockets, and now he's playing for the Knicks, right? And he was completely disastrous until recently. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is he says that he completely changed his mentality. He says that he was a micromanager. He wanted to control everything. He kind of lost sight of what the game was really about. So he kind of took a little bit of time away from basketball and focused on his spirituality. And he realized, you know what, I'm going to go out there and have fun, not try to micromanage and see how things go. Well, it turns out that now he's a pretty great player because he's not trying to control everything. So look, do I think religion is, you know, something that's magically saving him in basketball? No, but I definitely think that trying to let go, enjoy the game, and not try to micromanage things is going to help him with his game. And I think that goes for everyone in every field of work.
Oh, interesting lesson learned here. But my takeaway from this is that I had no idea Jeremy Lin was the Tim Tebow of the NBA.
Except he's not obnoxious about his religion.
I guess, yeah. I mean, every time he scores, he's not like, Jesus, right? So I hear you on that. But look, when you break it down, it actually makes a ton of sense. First of all, when you were like, it turns out he's religious, and you pause to say the religion, I'm like, how funny would it be if it turned out he was Jewish? That would have been fascinating. It would have been a twist. Anyway, of course he's Christian. And it makes sense because it isn't about the religion. It's about, and I know this from my personal life, if you push too hard, you're not going to get it, right? I mean, and it's weird. It's I don't know that you get more nervous or that you're overthinking it, but there's different ways that creates too much pressure and is ultimately counterproductive. And there is something to be said for not saying, oh, I'm going to sit on the couch and relax and not do anything. Keep working hard, keep practicing, etc. But at some point to let go, right?
Definitely.
And it's ironic because there's something Zen-like about that, right? And so he could have gone in that direction. But it also, now if you're a believer, this answers the question I always say, which is like, you know, they always say like, oh, Jesus saved me, or Jesus is the reason why. And I always think, well, why was Jesus messing with you before? Right? Why, when you were with the Warriors, etc.? Well, she's like, watch this. I'm going to get Jeremy Lin to suck. And then later I'll make him good. But actually this answers it because he doubled down on Jesus. And Jesus was like, all right, blessings.
Right.
You will outplay Kobe. At least for some stretch. First of all, I'm going to knock out Carmelo and Stoudemire, so you get center stage. Meanwhile, Melo's like, what did I do to Jesus? Right? They go sit on the bench while this guy gets famous. And he made a last-minute shot again the other night. So, hey, listen, have at it, Hoss, man. You know, I don't have any problem with religion as long as you don't try to make me believe it.
Right.
And you don't put it into our government, which Jeremy Lin is not advocating at all. So, God bless his heart. It's a great story. Yeah,
definitely. And I think this is one of the upsides of religion. If you take positive things from it, right, and you learn positive things from it, it can be great. It could be great for your mental health. I mean, I think this is very important for his mental health because, believe me, trying to control everything and be a micromanager makes you crazy.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And Ricky, I wanted to see what your takeaway on this. Ricky Strom from TYT Sports. The fact that he thinks this is because of Jesus. Does that affect how you view Jeremy Lin at all?
No, because as Anna said, he's not doing it all the time. He's not saying, you know, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for helping me with this win. When he usually does interviews, I watched a CNN interview he did for about 8 minutes. He mentioned God one time, and it was maybe 2 seconds. He doesn't he isn't putting out commercials. He's not doing any of that. And a guy that I worked for at CBS Radio in Chicago, to your Tim Tebow argument, he said the one thing you could take away from the Tim Tebow Jeremy Lin comparison, the only comparison is that they bring out the idiots, which I think is totally true because it's a non-argument. They're not comparable at all.
Right. I hear you on that. And I'm glad I escaped that category by accurately telling you the difference earlier. One last thing. You know what I thought was the difference, which now this explains it actually. When he did so much better out of the blue, I was like, is he taking roids? I mean, when you're talking about athletes, that's the first thing you think of, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know, at least that's the first thing I think of when there's a dramatic change in performance.
Right.
But I'm glad to see that it probably isn't because of this explanation. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And by the way, Peyton should look into this. That's one of Peyton Manning's #1 problems. I gotta win. Oh my God, here comes Tom Brady. I can't let it go. I'm never gonna let it go. The guy's gonna be retired for 20 years. I'm still gonna be coming back talking about Peyton Manning and Phil Simms.